Raw and SmackDown, virtually mowing through every bit of competition that he's had. You can't count out Dolph Ziggler, who could potentially win tonight's Royal Rumble in one of the biggest upsets of the night, and go to WrestleMania challenging for a championship with the briefcase as insurance. There's also the chance that either The Rock or CM Punk will enter the Royal Rumble match depending on the outcome of the WWE Championship match tonight. There's a rumor going around that CM Punk will enter the match after he loses the championship to The Rock. There's also rumored returns of Brock Lesnar, The Undertaker, and Chris Jericho recently added. Those are all contributing factors in tonight's Royal Rumble match, which could contribute to Randy Orton being eliminated from the match earlier than a lot of people are hoping he will be eliminated, and contributing to another superstar winning the match as opposed to Randy Orton. Who are some of your favorite Royal Rumble participants tonight? You can tell us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. Information will scroll across your screen momentarily for this live video blog on youtube.com/JonathanCarter22. How you can elaborate on the Royal Rumble's outcome tonight. Very unpredictable Royal Rumble match and one of the biggest lineups in Royal Rumble history. Over 30 participants, everyone from John Cena to Randy Orton. And we're bound to see the renewal of some old school rivalries, hoping to see John Cena and Randy Orton cross paths, hoping to see if The Undertaker's involved, perhaps the Rose of Destruction either unite or cross paths. Brock Lesnar could have a feud reunited with him if he returns tonight in the Royal Rumble match. The most likely outcome for Brock Lesnar, the rumor is that he will cost The Rock the WWE Championship if he's not involved in the Royal Rumble. And then there's the other scenario where Brock Lesnar will come out and cost the individual he will feud with at WrestleMania the chance of headlining the show for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I just want to see a superstar win this match tonight, point blank, who is going to benefit from winning the Royal Rumble match. In past years, like 2004, 2005, Chris Benoit had over 50% of the year revolving around his Royal Rumble victory. A year later, Batista in 2005 had over 50 to 65% of the year revolve around him. And here over the past number of years, we haven't seen revolvement around the Royal Rumble winner as much as we have in previous years in the mid-thousands. I want to see that picked up again, and I want to see a superstar win this match tonight who could benefit from it. And with Randy Orton's lackluster performance in 2012, you cannot deny that it's been lackluster, because it has. Even though he's given us some 5-star matches on a 5-star scale perspective with the likes of Daniel Bryan and especially Dolph Ziggler on not just one particular brand, both brands of Raw and SmackDown and on pay-per-view. It's just been incredible seeing how phenomenal Randy Orton has made new talent industry superstars look. That's why I'm really looking forward to finding out how he will benefit new talent industry superstars and himself tonight in the Royal Rumble match. And as I said here earlier, an entry number between 15 and 20 would satisfy me for Randy Orton's position in the Royal Rumble. I don't want to see him pull a Shawn Michaels, come out at number 1 and be eliminated 15 minutes into his involvement in the match. You're guaranteed to see Randy Orton, I'm hoping, at least 25 to 30 minutes in the match. I'm not expecting him to break the record of Rey Mysterio from 06 of 62 minutes and 12 seconds, but I am expecting him to be in there long enough that he's given enough attention and people go away from tonight's Royal Rumble match talking about Randy Orton and what he contributed to an unbelievable Royal Rumble match. This is bound to be one of the top 5 Royal Rumble matches of the previous 25 years. It's a tradition that's lasted over a quarter of a century, and over 58% of the winners have gone on to win championships at WrestleMania. That's a very interesting statistic, given the fact that we have seen so many superstars use the Royal Rumble as a stepping stone. Some superstars have used it as a stepping stone and haven't really accomplished anything. Other superstars like Chris Benoit, Randy Orton have gone on to achieve a legacy at WrestleMania. Chris Benoit, Shawn Michaels did it twice. Stone Cold Steve Austin did it in 1998. Sheamus here recently in 2012. And with Sheamus' statistic of having over 76 victories in matches on television for live events and pay-per-views, with him having one of the most highest statistics of involvement in matches and pay-per-views from 2012, he could be the first to produce double Royal Rumble victories since Steve Austin in 1998. But the biggest statistic is over 58% of these superstars who have won the Royal Rumble have gone on to WrestleMania to win a major championship or do something momentous. So that, if Randy Orton wins, could benefit him in the long run, and 2013 could prove out to be a more prominent year for Randy Orton. That's one thing that I hope to come out of tonight's Royal Rumble match. I have a lot of outcomes for tonight's Royal Rumble match that I would love to see. One of the biggest things I'm hoping for is that The Rock will win the WWE Championship and head down on their story path in twice in a lifetime with John Cena. That to me is a major thumbs down. I don't want to see that at all. I will lose so much interest in WrestleMania that it will absolutely sicken me to see the builds for WrestleMania. I'll probably have interest in probably 1 to 2 things tops happening at WrestleMania if we get twice in a lifetime. I'd be more interested in seeing something like Randy Orton feuding with the WWE World Champion at WrestleMania because we haven't seen it in quite a long time. I mean, I love Randy Orton as Big Viper and how he has this approach where he doesn't care what he has to do to attain a victory or to gain attention. I wasn't too big of a fan of him being a legend killer or a ladies' man who represented WWE in such a lackluster way in 2003, 2004. I wasn't a big fan of him as the blue chipper Randy Orton when he had this news gimmick where he was giving fans updates on his broken arm. But this Apex Predator thing, this new field for Randy Orton over the past couple of years, the last 5 years of Randy Orton's career has been absolutely infamous and very crucial. This second half of Randy Orton's career is going to define Randy Orton's legacy, so I think there is room for at least one more Royal Rumble win. I just don't believe in having a superstar like Randy Orton feuding with 3 members of 3MD where he lays them all out courtesy of an RKO. Sure, John Cena didn't really win every opportunity he was handed with, and he became the first man in the history of the Raw Money in the Bank briefcase to cash it in and lose. But John Cena still got pay-per-view main events. He got 1 match in there with The Rock. He didn't win, but he still was attaining pay-per-view positions. Randy Orton won several pay-per-views and had really nothing going for him. Yes, he was featured on several pay-per-views, but it was against mid-card talents who he was benefiting on Raw and SmackDown. It really defeated the purpose of having Randy Orton on a show. If Randy Orton was feuding for the World Championship against a superstar like Alberto Del Rio on pay-per-view, it would make more sense to me. But having Randy Orton feuding with a superstar that he really doesn't need to be feuding with is an absolute waste of time. If the Dolph Ziggler and Randy Orton matches were so good from 2012, there was no excuse as to why you couldn't have had these matches on pay-per-view. It really would have elevated the stock of anything of a superstar like Dolph Ziggler, who is a guaranteed future WWE World Champion and a multiple-time champion with that. I mean, Dolph Ziggler's representation of several other championship divisions in the WWE has been fantastic, and these matches with Randy Orton really has elevated his stock. Randy Orton hasn't had much going for him in the way of statistics in 2012. Just the performances in matches with people like Dolph Ziggler really helped elevate Randy Orton in the way of attention, and he got a lot of attention on social media during his feud with Alberto Del Rio. Wasn't a big fan of Randy Orton and Alberto Del Rio's feud from 2012 taking place on social media because not everybody, even though a computer is a popular piece of furniture in homes all across the world, not everybody has a computer and nobody can really keep up with a feud on social media, and fans very quickly lose interest in feuds that happen on social media. I mean, if I was a wrestler and I was feuding with someone on social media, I'd be sitting there for half the time saying, what the fuck am I doing this for? This is a waste of my time and his time. We're not getting attention, so why in the fuck are we doing it? Because we have nothing else better to do with our careers. Never was a big fan of the feuds taking place on social media, so I wasn't really interested in the Alberto Del Rio feud. What happened on television with Randy Orton stalking Alberto Del Rio similar in the way of an Undertaker was incredible. I love the stuff that happened on television and the several matches they had, the Falls Count Anywhere matches, the street fights, really, really great, and it really contributed to where Alberto Del Rio is now as world champion on SmackDown. If not for that Randy Orton rivalry, I mean, Alberto Del Rio probably wouldn't even be world champion. I mean, I knew at some point Alberto Del Rio was going to win the championship. I just didn't think it would be now. I mean, it's just incredible seeing what Randy Orton has done for all these superstars. You have Dolph Ziggler, Money in the Bank briefcase holder, could head to WrestleMania with that briefcase as insurance. You have Daniel Bryan, one half of the tag team champions, defending tonight against the Rhodes Scholars with his tag team partner team. Team Hell No versus Team Rhodes Scholars could really do a lot of justice to the tag team division. And you have Alberto Del Rio right now as the world champion. So all of these superstars who are benefiting right now have one thing in common. They have all been involved in rivalries in 2012, early 2013 with Randy Orton. So Randy Orton is the only one who isn't benefiting. That's why I think that tonight is a night that things should really pick up in a momentous way for Randy Orton, and I know there are Randy Orton fans who probably clicked on this video thinking the same thing to yourselves, why don't they give Randy Orton something more beneficial to do? And I'm in agreement with all of you. Never really was a big Randy Orton fan. Just after having a chance to see him perform live, and just after seeing the metamorphosis of his character, and there have been many of them over the last 10 years, I've just really become interested in a lot of potential with this guy. Not really a fan, it's just the potential that goes along with Randy Orton's character. And I just think some of the things that he's been doing in WWE has been very, very lackluster. I mean, I've always followed Randy Orton's career. I just never was a huge fan of Randy Orton. I'm a bigger fan of a legend like an Austin or a Rock than I'll ever be of a Randy Orton character. And if I ever had the chance to meet Randy Orton, I really don't think I'd be ecstatic over it. I've had the chance to briefly speak to his father, Cowboy Bob Orton, and by the approach that Bob Orton took during my conversation with him over the phone, I really wasn't interested in that family's legacy at all after about a 5 and 10 minute conversation. So, Randy Orton is someone who really has never interested me. And I know there are thousands of Randy Orton fans out there on YouTube, who have Randy Orton tribute videos, who wear Randy Orton t-shirts at WWE events. I mean, that's you. That's not me. But I just wish things would pick up for Randy Orton's career, And in 2013, by the halfway point, let's say 6 months in to 2013, I'm hoping that Randy Orton is in a more prominent position than he has been seen in years like 2012. And the reason why I'm raising this point is because you look back at 2011 when he was in this rivalry with Christian and what he did for Christian as a tribute to Edge. It was just incredible seeing that short-term feud. There was room for a lot of improvement, but it was just amazing seeing what Randy Orton did as he added Christian to his list of superstars that he benefited and gave him momentum to go on to do something potential with their career. It's almost as if WWE have realized what Randy Orton can do for other superstars, and they're kind of having him sit on the bench, just waiting for an opportunity.